Well, NBA, recent NBA, I guess talks, new trades and whatnot. So in this, Tim Duncan officially retires today. So I want to shout out him for having a great, I think 15 or 20 year career, something like that. 5-time championship, 5-time champ. So. And Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and whatnot. So definitely one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. And he officially retires today after a really long career. So yep, there's that. And Draymond Green got recently arrested in, I think, East Lansing, something like that. So yeah. I think it was reported that he attacked a fan, so he assaulted a fan. So the NBA is discussing whether he will get a fine or a suspension in the NBA. So we'll see what the NBA rules out in his I guess his verdict. And we'll see what this NBA season, in my opinion, is going to be one of the most I guess viewed, it's going to be the most disliked, because it's going to be a lot of views with Kevin Durant going to the Warriors and whatnot. His presence in the Warriors will, I think, it will make them officially a dynasty team or a franchise team. Because if you think about it, the Warriors were already a pretty good team. Like, they were a top tier team that won NBA champions. They went to the finals 2 straight times and lost one, lost one. That's a pretty good team right there. And people compare it to LeBron as I think, like, they're like, oh, if LeBron did it, then why can't Kevin Durant do it? But in my opinion, it's worse than what LeBron did, because with LeBron, he had no supporting cast whatsoever. He had Anderson Varejao, who was a flopper. He had Larry Hughes and Adalskis. Like, that's not really good supporting cast if you're trying to win a championship. And he was trying to get to the next level to be the all-time great. So I think it's somewhat worse since Kevin Durant. He had Russell Westbrook, at least a top 10 player in the NBA as of right now, maybe even better. But he's athletic, fast. He's really good, and that's basically Russell Westbrook himself. It's basically better than LeBron's supporting cast. Basically, he has Serge Ibaka, he previously had Serge Ibaka in his years that he played in OKC. So Serge Ibaka, he was pretty good at shot blocking, and he can shoot a bit of 3. So he was sort of a stretch 5 or stretch 4 or whatever. Yeah, stretch 4. He had Steven Adams, who wasn't that good, but that he improved a lot in the finals. So did Enes Kanter. Sorry. So he had a great supporting cast who just kept improving. But now that he left, it's going to be just basically Russell Westbrook and Victor Oladipo, who was traded to the Madrid. So, I mean, you can't really compare, because basically his decision to go to the Warriors was it was a different situation than what LeBron had to go through. So I view it as a somewhat worse decision, or not worse, but like I would say you can't compare it to LeBron, because they're both under different circumstances, so can't compare that. And yep, basically this NBA season, I'm still gonna rock with the Spurs, since that's my favorite team, even though Tim Duncan retired. So even though Tim Duncan retired, he's still gonna be the Spurs are still gonna be one of my favorite teams to watch, especially with Pau Gasol going to there. He can play defense pretty good. He knows how to win championships with Kobe, and he can shoot the 3. I think a little bit, not that much of a 3-point threat, but he could still shoot it when he's wide open. So we can see how that plays out in the Spurs offense, since he can be like LaMarcus Aldridge, who can also shoot threes like a stretch 4 and a stretch 5, which a space on the floor would be insurmountable, since Tony Parker, he can shoot a little bit from mid-range to 3, a little bit, not that good, but he can still shoot it when he's open. Danny Green for sure. Kawhi Leonard, his mid-range is basically money, and his 3-point is pretty good for a small forward. LaMarcus Aldridge, his 3 is really good for the 4 position, and Pau Gasol going to the center position, so I think he was fitting pretty well. And I just died. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see how that plays out into the 2016 season. So yeah, basically this NBA season is going to be one of the craziest ever, in my opinion. And the recent shootings of Alton Sterling is pretty tragic, in my opinion, because he didn't. Alton Sterling, I think it was reported that he had a gun, but he didn't show it. Apparently, a homeless man called 911 on him because he had a gun in his. I think it was a bit visible. That's why he called the police. But when the police came, it wasn't like he was like fighting them or something. They basically forced him on the ground and stuff, and he was like, his body was in a weird, awkward position. So that's why, and the police kept saying, "Don't move," and then, but he was put in a very awkward position. 2 people on your back. I mean, like, you can barely breathe in that instance. So I think he was trying to move to get more comfortable. And then he has a gun. I don't think he was reaching for it, because I mean, if you're laid out, I don't think you can try to reach for your gun there. So, and then the police, there's like, oh, there's a gun. Instead of taking the gun away, what they should have done, they should have taken the gun away, because you have 2 people. It's 2 versus 1. Instead of taking the gun away, they shot him, and that's very unfortunate. I feel like this whole thing could have been prevented if they just handcuffed him, because there's 2 people. Two people, you're sitting on his back, you don't have power against him, so this whole situation should have been avoided, and there would have been no one dead, and especially in Dallas, that's very unfortunate. Even the police, they didn't necessarily support the rioting or the protest, but they said you can go since it was peaceful. But unfortunately, it was a former army military member that shot them, so that's very, very sad and tragic. So we just need to unite under these circumstances. We call the United States of America for a reason. We're called United for a reason. So we need to, under these circumstances, we need to unite and we not keep shooting each other. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say about that. It's just, this whole situation could have been avoided. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that right now. So yeah, this year has been pretty lopsided, whether it's sports or in real life. So yeah, I just hope we can all unite and be as one. Be united. So yeah.